Do you want to win an Xbox One? Enter our 100,000 subscriber giveaway. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment.
The life of a ring girl is truly an interesting one. Given close access to every aspect of the fight game, from the weigh-ins and the media events to the fights themselves, these lucky individuals are as much as a part of the fight night experience as the commentators or the ring announcers. As you would expect, a lot of the time, the ring girls spend so much time in close proximity to the sheer madness of the action inside the cage that they inevitably end up involved in one way or another. Whether it's just a case of unwanted attention from the camera or something a lot worse, we decided to chronicle some of the most memorable instances of ring girls getting a little too involved in the madness. With that said, here are 10 shocking moments between fighters and ring girls. Number 10. Joshua Burkman. Joshua Burkman was in a tough spot during his initial run through the UFC. On the cusp of being finished by Chad Reiner in a pivotal bout for his promotional ambitions, something incredibly odd happened. Locking eyes across the octagon with ring girl Arianny Celeste, Burkman realized that he could not allow himself to be defeated in front of a woman that attractive. Fighting his way out of the rear naked choke, he turned the fight's momentum completely on its head, eventually winning the contest on the scoreboards. The real victory came directly afterwards, however, as Burkman asked the sport's #1 ring girl out on a date, an offer she accepted, leaving them as a couple for some time afterwards. A rare moment of true romance in this unforgiving sport. Number 9. John Dodson. Who can blame John Dodson for shooting a shot during his memorable UFC weigh-in? Set to take on Daryl Montag at UFC 166, Dodson took to the stage to seal the fight on the scales. However, just before he did so, the magician decided that it would be the perfect moment to pop an interesting question to one of the ring girls standing by. Approaching one lucky target with his phone out, Dodson managed to successfully get a selfie with the ring girl, something that seemed to stand out as a good omen for his chances of the following night. Thankfully, his decision seemed to pay dividends as he made short work of Montag, coming away with the first round TKO victory. Dodson had enjoyed a mixed bag of successes in the UFC. One of the things that's for certain is that it's a win that was written in the stars to some extent after this gutsy offering from the fast-handed knockout artist. Number 8. Round 2. Sometimes you do have to wonder about the vetting process that goes into finding certain members of a fight show production. One of the New England MMA ring girls managed to somehow ignore the fact that one of the two fighters involved in an ongoing matchup had just been knocked out cold. Seeing it as something of a cue to continue, she walked around the unconscious fighter's team, declaring the start of the second round. In reality, the fight was over. Of course, but as you would expect, this moment did serve up quite a few laughs and become a viral hit in the weeks that followed. Number 7. The Ice Bucket. One of the most infamously hilarious moments in UFC history came when the corner of Jonis Torres, a team that included Jose Aldo and Hanan Borrell, knocked over a bucket of ice in between rounds. Seems pretty innocent, right? Well, the kickers, both Borrell and Aldo, instead of tidying it up, brushed it off to the side of the octagon, where the ring girl Arianny Celeste was set to walk in between rounds. Commentator Joe Rogan famously admonished the two, not knowing that they were in fact UFC champions, telling someone to go over there and kick their asses. Thankfully, neither Arianny or the other ring girls were hurt, leaving this unfortunate spillage as one of the most meme-worthy moments we've ever had the pleasure of experiencing in the UFC.
Oh wow, look at all the ice all over we got a problem.
Yep,
Someone spilled ice in the octagon. Oh no, this is good. Look at that, they knocked the bucket over. This is the Three Stooges. What are you freaks doing? That's good. Put it on the side and watch Arianny fall on her head.
Yeah, being
still
spilled
ice
inside the octagon.
There's still too much. Get back in there. You're not done. There's ice all over the floor. What are these guys? They ran out. I'm done. We got it. There's ice everywhere. Those cornermen, someone needs to kick their ass.
Number 6. Nohelen Hernandez. Another example of a fighter who just couldn't help himself in the heat of the moment, the former UFC bantamweight Nohelen Hernandez lived up to his name suave by taking up to the stage for his official weigh-in with a rose between his teeth. It was pretty suave of him, so that checks out. He then proceeds to kick things up a notch by handing said rose to one of the UFC's ring girls standing by. A pretty romantic gesture, right? Well, perhaps, but in the end, it mattered for little. Hernandez was choked out in the second round against Marlon Vera before losing once again to the prospect Jack Shore. He would be then cut from the promotion shortly after, opting for a run in the sport of boxing instead from there onwards. Number 5. An oddly timed proposal. Hardcore fans of the sport of mixed martial arts will no doubt be aware of who Chris Barnett is. The aptly named Huggy Bear is known for his unusual physique for the sport and his incredibly offensive fighting style. Not an elite talent by any means, but certainly some of a fan favorite on the regional circuit. However, during an appearance on a card hosted by Asian promotion Road FC, it was his opponent Gun Oh Shim who stole his thunder in every sense of the word. taking a moment to present one of the ring girls with some flowers. The stare down took on something of greater importance as the two seemed to share some very real chemistry. Perhaps nothing came of it, perhaps something did, but Gunno would go on to lose the fight against the physically imposing force that was the veteran Huggy Bear. Number 4, Diego Sanchez. Anyone who knows anything about Diego Sanchez will no doubt be aware of his reputation for being one of the strangest people in the sport of mixed martial arts. As an original member of the first season of the UFC, Diego has certainly been through some wars during his near 2-decade run in the UFC. What many surprised some, however, is that Sanchez once dated the famed former UFC ring girl Ali Sonoma. From the sound of things, the split came down to Diego deciding that the entire relationship was a distraction from his ultimate goal of becoming a UFC champion. Seems like a harsh trade-off, doesn't it? But that was how the cookie crumbled. In the end, Sanchez didn't end up fulfilling his dream, but there's no doubt about his status as one of the sport's all-time greatest action fighters.
I'm dating Diego Sanchez right now.
How's that? What's she like?
He's an interesting fella. He's a great guy. He's very intense, but really he's just a big kid at heart, you know. We have a lot of fun together. We've been going out for a year and a half, and I love him, you know, he's great.
Number 3, Ronda Rousey. During her heyday, Ronda Rousey was not one to mince her words, not even slightly. Once feuding with the famed ring girl Ariane Celeste, Rousey well and truly let her have it upon taking an issue with Celeste's response during the discussions surrounding her fighter pay. In short, Ronda was angered by the fact that the UFC's Octagon girls earn more than some of the fighters under the promotional banner. Upon hearing Ariane's response, Rousey went on a rant about the merits of the job, telling the media that she was not impressed by the work the ring girls do and how Celeste, in particular, was approaching her career. Harsh words from one of the biggest stars the sport has ever known.
What did I say that was a bully? I said that the fighters should get paid more than the ring girls?
Yeah.
How does that make me a bully? That makes me right. I'm sorry, but she wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for the fighters. Do you think her walking in circles around the 2 guys or 2 girls out there like fighting for their lives is worth more? I think she works harder than they do. I didn't say that she needed a pay cut. I said either the ring card girls are paid too much or the fighters aren't paid enough. For her to take that personally, I'm sorry, but I'm not impressed with the job in itself.
Number 2, Michael Blair. Picture the moment. You've just fought a hard battle inside that cage. When all was finally said and done, you managed to get your hand raised. In that moment, the cameras are on you, and the fight's official reads your name to the crowd as the winner. Michael Blair had found himself in that exact position once upon a time before the in-cage ring girl managed to position herself directly in front of him during his big moment in front of the cameras. He decided to take matters into his own hands, quite literally, as he moved her to one side, something that prompted a rather angry response from the ring girl in question. Thankfully, the tensions quickly dampened when the two were seen to share a friendly embrace shortly after.
Michael Blair! And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as game as a budget, Kieran O'Shea!
Number 1, Andrew Whitney. Losing sucks. There's no 2 ways around it. You spend months training for one big night, and as we all know, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. One particularly frustrated fighter, Andrew Whitney, was so angered by the fact that he had just lost a close judge's decision that he turned around and punched behind him in disgust. Unfortunately, a ring girl just so happened to be standing right behind him, leading to an incredibly shocked response from all involved. Of course, the punch was not intended for the target. It eventually hit, and Whitney was immediately apologetic as soon as he realized his mistake. Thankfully, it was a clean land, and the ring girl, by the look of things, was not seriously hurt by this bizarre turn of events.
UFC Bantamweight Champion of the World,
And that will do it for our list of 10 memorable incidents involving ring girls and fighters. Who's your own personal favorite MMA ring girl? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's content, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads. And as always, thanks for watching.